Om Jnanati Brahmasya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Namah Chichitayamanopistam Staptam Yena Bhutale Svamarpakadhamyam Dadati Svampadantikam Vandeham Shiyu Shiyudapadkamnam Shiram Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Jagajatam Saganaragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabdutam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shivishakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Tyatpate Gopesha Gopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gauranga Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhani Sutadevi Pranamama Hari Priye Pancha Kalptra Vishya Kripasan Vaivishya Padnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamini. Namaste Saraswata Devi Gauravanya Pacharini. Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Paskachai Dasatani. Srila Prabhupada Ki. So we continue today, this evening, studying the Upatishamrita, and probably we will finish today the purport of the third verse. Utsan nisayadaya tat karma pavartanat sangatyara satoro vrite sadbir bhakti prasidati. There are six principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient. Acting according to the regulative principles, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, hearing, chanting and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotees and following the footsteps of previous acharyas. These principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of devotional service. So, in the last part of the purport, Srila Prabhupada will mention, if you follow the first three verses of the Bhagavatam, the first three verses of the Upatishamrita, I mean, six things not favorable for devotional service we avoid, and six things favorable for devotional service. If we do that, then we will spiritualize our life and develop spiritual qualities. These spiritual qualities are not really there in the soul, but they are uncovered. So Prabhupada here in the purport writes, there are certainly many good qualities among fruitive actors, philosophical speculators, and mystic yogis. But all good qualities automatically develop in the character of a devotee. No extraneous endeavor is needed. So it means these qualities naturally develop when you perform devotional service. You don't have to concentrate on these qualities and trying consciously to develop them. No, they will be revealed. But at the same time, it's good to know these devotional qualities, because it's a test for us. Am I making spiritual advancement? We can see that, we can measure that by looking whether we are developing these spiritual qualities. And Srila Prabhupada refers to the fifth canto, chapter 18, text 12. And I have the verses on the board. A verse Srila Prabhupada quotes many times. Yasyaste bhaktir bhagavatta kinshana saverkunas tatra samaste sura. Arava bhaktasya kutomad kuna manoritanas nasati davato bhai. So the first time I read this verse, I was very surprised. It said, all the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga, or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, must be driven by his own mental speculation and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? So this verse says that the non-devotees have no good qualities at all. That is quite extreme, I would say. No good qualities. But what is meant here? What are good qualities? How can we understand that? So having good qualities are the qualities of the soul. These qualities are eternal. One may have in this world qualities like a good learning, that beauty, a good birth, and that marriage. So many qualities, so many capabilities, but it's also all temporary. It's fleeting, it's going away. You have it for some time and it is gone. Therefore, these qualities are not real qualities because they are temporary. The qualities of the soul are the real qualities. And they are covered by those who are, they are covered by those who are non-devotees. I think it's in the second part of the second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, 2.3.13, Ayurati Vaipam Sam Utyam Astam Sayanasa Tasyartyat Satonita Utamasloka Vartaya. Both by rising and by sitting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. That's also an interesting verse. It says that by rising and setting of the sun, the duration of everyone is vanquished, but except when we utilize the time by discussing the topics of the all-good personality of God. Because by hearing about Krishna, by performing devotional service, these eternal qualities of the soul become manifested. If our, if our these eternal qualities become manifested, and by that we revive our eternal life. That if our heart is pure, we will not take birth again. We can regain our eternality. And time has no influence on the spiritual body. It becomes manifest again. Together with all these qualities. But this verse here on the screen of the 18th chapter of the 5th canto, it speaks about these qualities and gives a list at the end of 26 qualities, which are also mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We will read this verse. As explained in the next verse, Krishna is the original source of all living entities. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, wherein Krishna says, Mamaivam Shochi Veduke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manasastra Nindriyani Pragatistani Karsati. There are other verses where Krishna says that he is the original source of all living entities in Bhagavad Gita. There is a verse wherein he says that I'm the seed-giving father of all living entities. And of course, Am Sarvasya Prabhavu, I'm the source of all material and spiritual worlds. So there's the verse of 15:7, because this is an important verse for us, because this verse shows who we are. This is our identity. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. All living entities are part and parcels of Krishna, and therefore they revive their original Krishna consciousness. They possess all the good qualities of Krishna in a small quantity. So like Prabhupada gives the analogy, if we analyze a drop of seawater, we will find that there is salt in the drop. By that we can have an idea of the amount of salt which is in the ocean. That's all the qualities in us are also in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all living entities are part and parcel of Krishna, and therefore when they derive their original Krishna consciousness, they possess all the good qualities of Krishna in a small quantity. So, and here it is said, when one engages himself in the 9 poses of devotional service, one's heart becomes purified and immediately understands his relationship with Krishna. He then revives his original quality of Krishna consciousness. And this verse Shravana Kirtana Vishnu Smaranam Parsevanam Arjam Vanam Dasam Sakyam Atmani Vednam is mentioned, which we discussed at length. In this verse, this is called Tat Tat Karma Pavartanat. That in the verse we are discussing of Upatisharita, acting according to the regulative principles of devotional service. Now, then Srila Prabhupada speaks about all these spiritual qualities that in the Adi Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 8, there is a description of some of the qualities of the devotees. It is some. Yeah, because Krishna's qualities are unlimited. The devotees' qualities are unlimited. For example, Sri Pandit Haridas is described as being very well behaved, tolerant, peaceful, magnanimous, and grave. In addition, he spoke very sweetly. His endeavors were pleasing. He was always patient. He respected everyone. He always worked for everyone's benefit. His mind was free of duplicity, and he was completely devoid of malicious activities. These are all original qualities of Krishna. When one becomes a devotee, they automatically become manifest. Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, says that all good qualities become manifest in the body of a Vaishnava, and that only the presence of these good qualities one can distinguish a Vaishnava from a non-Vaishnava. That's the way to see whether one is a devotee or not. It's not an external thing. It is the qualities. So Krishnadas Kaviraj lists the following 26 good qualities of a Vaishnava. First is, he is very kind to everyone. 2, he does not make anyone his enemy. So we knew, especially in Dharmaraj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, we see this quality that he was known as Shastravat. He had no enemy, it is said. That it means Yudhishthira Maharaj never saw anyone as his enemy. That we have heard about Dhritarashtra. He did so many vicious things, but still that Yudhishthira Maharaj saw him as his grandfather and was serving him in so many ways, even after the battle of Kurukshetra, doing his duty. He's truthful that Yudhishthira Maharaj never spoke a lie. He's equal to everyone. That's a very good quality. We see that Krishna loves everyone. The parents love their children, but not the children of others. So we see still material qualities, spiritual qualities, being equal to everyone. This vision is described also in Bhagavad Gita, the Uttamadikar. Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmana Kavhasni Sunishev Svapagata Sunishev Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmana Kavhasni Sunishev Svapagata. What is the verse? This is verse 518. Pandita Samadarshina. Samadarshina means one who sees with equal vision. So one who has true knowledge sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahman, a cow, an elephant, and a dog eater. So one sees everyone as a spirit soul. That one, and by that vision, one does not want even to harm an ant. That so no one can find any fault in him. He's magnanimous. He's merciful. That mercy is one of the 4 pillars of religion. He is mild, always clean. He is without possessions. He works for everyone's benefit. He is very peaceful. Yeah, working for always for everyone's benefit. That so one's ultimate benefit. That is there when one makes spiritual advancement and a devotee wants to give Krishna consciousness to others. That's everyone's benefit. He's peaceful. He's a deer as described in Bhagavad Gita. He means undisturbed in the most disturbed situations. The most disturbing situations. He's always surrendered to Krishna. Means he follows always Krishna's instructions. He has no material desires. But he's very meek. He's steady. He controls his senses. So we see it. He does not eat more than required. So, Atyara Prayasasya is the second verse of the nectar instruction. He is not influenced by the Lord's illusory energy. So he's not controlled by the lower energy, by the material energy. That's a big difference with the conditioned souls. They are always influenced by the illusory energy. If you don't follow the second and the third verse of nectar of instruction, one is influenced by the Lord's illusory energy. If you don't follow the four relative principles, you are completely identifying with body and mind. He offers respect to everyone. He does not desire any respect for himself. So that this is we must develop this quality to chant the holy name, that devoid of all prestige, one should be ready to give all respect to others. 19 and 20. That 21 is very grave, means he's sober. That Narada Muni in his previous life, he was a boy of 5 years old. Usually they are playful, but he became very sober. By association with the Bhaktivedantas, he became very grave. Spiritual gravity. He is merciful. He is friendly. He is poetic. Prabhupada was praised by his spiritual master for his quality of being poetic. He is expert. We see in Prabhupada also. He did everything. He was an expert cook. That expert in kirtan, expert in translation, literature. And he is silent, mauna. Mauna means he does not speak prajalpa. That prajalpa about mundane things. In that sense, he is silent. He speaks only about Krishna. Does not mean that he does not speak. So these are all these qualities. Now, these qualities many of these qualities are also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. It's good to know them, that to measure where am I? Am I developing these qualities? By that we can know that we are making spiritual advancement. It's good to know what's our position. If we go to Bhagavad Gita, text 12 is devotional service. There in the 12th chapter, from verse 14, 13, 14 onwards, Krishna starts to list all spiritual qualities. Advesta sarva bhutana maitra karuna ivasa nirvamo nirahankara samadukha sukhaksami santusta satatam yogi yatatma drita nisaya marpita manobuddhir yomad bhakta same priyam. So one who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities. So non-envious, not envious. We are in this world because we are envious of Krishna. In so many ways. We want to be the enjoyer and the proprietor of everything. But one who is not envious and a kind friend to all living entities, that we are heard also in these 26 qualities. It's kindness to everyone, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego. So these are the non-devotional qualities. They are not there. Thinking himself a proprietor and free from false ego. Ein mine. That there is no greediness. Is equal in happiness and distress. So therefore is peaceful, we heard. Is tolerant, always satisfied. So the devotee is satisfied with Krishna, whatever Krishna gives him, and he's appreciating. He's self-controlled. He's engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence are fixed on me. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Srila Prabhupada in the purport discusses many of these qualities. And it continues till the end of the chapter, by whom no one is put into difficulty, who is not disturbed by anyone, who is occupied in happiness and distress, fear, anxiety, is very dear to me. That my devotee is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure expert without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. She is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities. So it doesn't depend on how he feels, how the mind feels, and so on. No, he can act as he like. He's not restricted by his own mind. Whereas conditioned souls are restricted in so many ways. So he's expert without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result. He's very dear to me. So, not striving for some result. That he may strive for results for Krishna, but not for himself. One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and renounces both and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. So the devotee is not concerned with the good and bad in this world. What's good for Krishna, that's his concern, and that he will do. That loss or gain, that's in the hand of Krishna. And then here, one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is occupied in honor and dishonor, heat, cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy. This is all this duality. It's not controlled by this duality, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent. Here again, mana, silent, and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service. Such a person is dear to me. So, but yeah, at the last verse, those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making it the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Now I have a question to you. We hear all these spiritual qualities, and we may conclude now, I don't have them. Okay, I don't have them, but am I on the way to develop them? How can you know you are on the way to develop them? Someone can answer this question. How do we know we are developing them? How can we measure that we are developing them if we don't have them yet?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, could it be partially as we feel separation when we're not around the other devotees? Could that be a start?
Yeah, that is a good sign. Thank you. If we are feeling separation from Krishna and from the devotees, that someone else want to say something on this? That
perhaps if we want to develop them,
if the desire is there, that's a conscious endeavor. Yeah, that you see devotees have these qualities. I want also these qualities. That's also a good sign. That, but maybe we can hear what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That how we know we are developing them. That this is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita in the next chapter. Here. That so says humility, pridelessness, nonviolence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness, amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and beside this, whatever there may be is ignorance. So interesting, the purport Srila Prabhupada said, this process of knowledge is misunderstood by less intelligence as being the interaction of the field of knowledge. So this is all this, if you see that in your heart, that you become more detached, you want to live simple, you are averse to violence, that and you understand the entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, and that you want to away from the general mass of people who are always in sense gratification. That and you are accepting the importance of self-realization. You are attached to Krishna's words in Bhagavad Gita. That Krishna says that's knowledge, and Prabhupada says that's the process of knowledge. That's the process are in the process of developing the spiritual qualities we can see here. Krishna gives 21 items, and he gives two. In the purport he says there are two who are most important, that without these two we cannot develop it. The first is approaching a bona fide spiritual master. We are approaching Prabhupada, our spiritual master, and we want to follow his instructions. If we do that, that's the first aspect. But the spiritual master teaches us devotional service. And unalloyed devotional service to me, Krishna says, is the second. So if we follow the instructions of the spiritual master and we perform unalloyed devotional service, all the other items of knowledge will develop in us. And the development of these items of knowledge will lead us to the development of the spiritual qualities. So this is important, that humility gives us access to this knowledge. That if we are proud comes before the fall. That's the opposite. Then we develop material qualities. That's non-violence. Non-violence means only acting in Krishna consciousness. If you are not acting in Krishna consciousness, but you're acting with material consciousness, then you commit violence towards the soul, because the soul will remain entangled in the material atmosphere. Tolerance is very important. Krishna was his first instruction in Bhagavad Gita. Matra sprasta kanta asitushna shukadukada agamapina natyas tamsatikshasva bharata. O son of Bharat, you must tolerate like sun, like heat in the summer, cold in the winter. And simplicity. A devotee lives as simple as possible, just what he needs. His material needs are fulfilled so that he can dedicate his life to devotional service. If we are doing that, then we are in the process of developing these qualities. Approaching a bona fide spiritual master, yes, cleanliness. Cleanliness is very, very important. Internal cleanliness by chanting Hare Krishna. External cleanliness, taking a bath in the morning. Living a very clean life. Steadiness. Devotion, we should always perform devotional service without interruption. Self-control. Then renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. Yes. That when you are becoming detached on all these things in this world, that's a good sign. Absence of false ego, that's an advanced item. Means we are acting only spiritually, as a spirit soul in the service of Krishna, nothing else. The perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease. So are we thinking, oh, I'm becoming a devotee now and life is nice? No. We remain sober. We know birth, death will come, old age will come, disease will come. That's the evil. Detachment from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest. We do our duty in family life. Try to raise our children in Krishna consciousness. But don't become entangled. Don't become too over-attached. Your children will not do what you expect. They will do something else. My mother always said, small children, little problems. Grown-up children, big problems. So don't have bigger expectations there. It will not come true. Detach yourself from it. It's not under our control. Even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events. We should become equal. That people come and go. Happiness comes and goes. Constant and unalloyed devotion and service to me. That's a most important item to develop. Aspiring to live in a solitary place means Prabhupada explains in the purport, desire to live in the association of devotees. That's living in a solitary place. Detachment from the general mass of people. We are not engaging in politics and all these things like the general mass of people. That we know that unless there is a spiritual society based on Varnashram, all the government and so on will not help us in our spiritual advancement. The culture will be against. So we are detached. Accepting the importance of self-realization. That's very important. That the goal of our life is to become self-realized. Servants of Krishna, engaging in devotional service and philosophical search for the absolute truth. So this is explained by Narada Muni to Srila Vyasa Dev. Tashiva Ayatita. Yeah, this is a verse in the first canto, chapter 5. Tashiva Ayata Payatita Govardhana Lapyate Yat Pramatam Upayada. Talapyate Dukavanyatusikam Kalina Savatra Gabir Ramasa. This verse is one who is intelligent. Should not endeavor, so one who is intelligent, it says, and philosophically inclined, that should endeavor for the happiness which is not obtainable in this world, not from the lowest planet till the highest. And is not interested in sense gratification. That will come on his own accord, like distress comes on his own accord. So we see here these 21 items of devotional service are very important. Then if we go to Bhagavad Gita, to the 14th chapter, because if we speak about spiritual qualities and am I developing them, here Krishna gives another list, because Arjuna is asking, that's his question, that by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these modes? What is the behavior and how does he transcends the modes? Thus Krishna answers and gives a list of qualities, spiritual qualities in Bhagavad Gita. And by that we can also measure where we are, and we will see many are the same. The son of Pandu evil does not hate elimination, attachment, and delusion when they are present or long for them, When they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of the material qualities. Remaining neutral, transcendental, knowing the modes alone are active, who is situated in the self regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal throughout the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady situated, equal well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, with renounce to all material activities. Such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. So this being equal, especially what's stressed here, is to be equal in this duality, good and bad, desirable, undesirable, praise, blame, honor, dishonor. That's duality. That's friend and enemy. If one is absorbed in this duality, one is under control of material nature, is controlled by this duality. We want what's good for the body, and we don't want what gives this stress to the body. But the transcendentalist is equal to that. Happiness and distress is a feeling comes up in the mind, and is not under control of that. That he will serve Krishna, whether in happiness or distress, but I will serve Krishna. So this is the 14th chapter. So many qualities are described here. But Krishna also, this description of these qualities in Bhagavad Gita starts really from the second chapter, and I think it's text 54, it starts, or 53, let's see. Yeah, it's further. Here, Arjuna is asking a question. Krishna, what are the symptoms of those whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit? How does he walk? And then here Krishna gives qualities. So one who gives up desire for sense gratification, is when his mind is purified, he finds satisfaction in the self alone. Always satisfied in all circumstances. One who is not disturbed in mind amidst the threefold miseries that are related when there is happiness, who is free from attachment, fear, and anger. Again, the same thing, this duality. And then one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain. Thus, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. One who is able to withdraw his sense from sense objects, as a tortoise draws his limbs within the shell. So that he does not meditate on sense objects, he withdraws his senses. Yeah. Anyway, so many qualities. We'll now go back to where we were in the nectar of instruction. Here, text 3. Here, we were reading here. So we were reading here, no extraneous endeavor is needed. As confirmed by Srimad Bhagavatam 5.8.12, all the good qualities of the demigods progressively become manifest in one who has developed pure devotional service. Because the devotee is not interested in any material activity, he does not become materially contaminated. He is immediately situated on the platform of transcendental life. However, one who engages in mundane activity, be he a so-called jnani, yogi, karmi, philanthropist, nationalist, or whatever, cannot attain the higher stage of Mahatma. He remains a Duratma, or cripple-minded person. So here the contrast is made with a devotee, no interest in material activities, and all the others, they are Duratmas, also the Jnanis, Yogis, and Karmis. That because they don't develop these spiritual qualities. They may develop some of them, like becoming equal in happiness and distress, but it are temporary achievements that so one has to become a Mahatma. How to connect with the spiritual energy that has been explained in this nectar of instruction, verse 3, that how to connect with the spiritual energy. By connecting, we develop the spiritual qualities. Mahatmas Tamaprata Devim Praktiyashita Bhajanti Ananya Manasod Shatva Bhutadim Afyan. The son of Preta, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service, and they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So, since all the devotees of the Lord are under the protection of His supreme potency, they should not deviate from the path of devotional service and take to the path of the karmi, jnani or yogi. This is called Utsanishyadaya Tatat Karma Vartanat, enthusiastically executing the regulative activities of devotional service with patience and confidence. In this way, one can advance in devotional service without hindrance. Now, we have discussed this text 2 and 3. 2 is 6 things not to do, and text 3 is 3 things to do. Then we start to develop these devotional qualities, and we suddenly come to the point of being able to develop spiritual relationships with others, with other devotees. So this becomes very important. How do we relate with each other in devotional service? What is our exchange of love between devotees? The 6 exchanges of love between devotees are explained in the next verse. But we have to see the connection. We cannot act spiritually with each other if we don't follow text 2 and 3. If we follow text 2 and 3, we will develop spiritual relationships with each other, which are very sweet, transcendental. And that is what we will hear next time. So, any questions or comments, please?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for nice explanation and nice connection. Maharaj, when we see the 26 qualities, many of the qualities for our day-to-day activities, they they are considered as a weakness. So how we can handle that, or somebody like me who's working in a corporate world, if we develop those kind of qualities, then it would be difficult to survive in the corporate world. So how we can balance that?
Yes, when we do our job, the most important quality from which all the other develop, the most important quality is acting in devotional service. So it doesn't depend on the external situation. It's in your heart. One must see Krishna as giving me these qualities, these material qualities, okay? And I must use them in his service. That you see the others may not have developed these spiritual qualities because they are materialists. But still, we see them as spirit souls. So we are equal to all of them. Then we develop. We can use all these spiritual qualities to do our job for Krishna very nicely. That one of the qualities is being equal to everyone. That not be disturbed by happiness and distress. So many difficult situations may come in the job, but we try not to be disturbed. That and do it first class because it is for Krishna. So it's an internal thing for us that you try to do it first class. You try not to be disturbed like the others. You try to serve whatever and remain peaceful in all circumstances, and that will make you better in your job. And others will see these qualities. Others will see these qualities and will respect you more. These are because they will feel you have no sense of exploiting them. And that will make you also dear to everyone, devotee or non-devotee. So it's internal, trying to develop these qualities, seeing the opportunity of this job as a way to develop tolerance, to develop this quality to be equal with everyone, to show you are perseverant. I will get my goal. That obstacles may be there. Humility sometimes is required because you have, if you make errors or whatever, you should say, "I'm trying my best. I will improve." That not fight against it, and that will be appreciated. These good qualities will be by that one becomes a friend of everyone. I'm sure. Purnachandra Prabhu, you have many of these qualities that in the corporate world, that's also very much appreciated because that makes one great finally. Does that help?
Yes, Maharaj. And also to always remember and remind ourselves these qualities. You nicely explained that in the heart we should first, desire for that and work on heart rather than external qualities. And if I understand correctly, Maharaj, like what you explained in today's class, how to develop those qualities is the verse you mentioned where Krishna is telling about those different qualities which we should, seek for. So that will help to build this, yeah? Is
Yeah,
that my understanding?
that's 13, 8, 12, the process of knowledge. If you have these qualities or which are characteristic for this process, you know you are on the right way, and that's the point. Therefore this verse 13, chapter 8, 12, that's very important. It's like, am I on track? That's yeah. So that is also this part of this nice to read. That all of these qualities one should develop to come to the spiritual qualities. That's like a medium that be, being seeing the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease is not really a spiritual quality. Is being situated in the process of knowledge. Because in the spiritual world there is no birth, death, old age, and disease. That they don't even know they don't even know about these things in the spiritual world. But we need to know them to make spiritual advancement and come to these spiritual qualities. Yeah, therefore it's so important. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And the Maharaj verse reference was which canto was that?
Fun.
The verse you mentioned about the process of knowledge,
Yeah,
Maharaj, it
that's
was
Bhagavad Gita, chapter
uh
13, verse 8 to 12.
8 to 12. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
yes,
Then next time we will continue with the next verse, which is also very important for us. But next week I will not be able to give class because of the Tirobhav of Bhakti Sharmach in Mayapur. And the week after, I will let you know if it's possible on Wednesday. We do it on Wednesday. We'll see.
So
Thank you.
Maharaj,
Yes.
Srimad Bhagavatam class also will not be possible, right? Like no class then next week. Yeah.
Next week is 1 week we have to skip, yeah, because I will be at that time at the Wednesday I'm arriving, and the Thursday and immediately I'm in the festival. Thursday also, and then the day after I'm flying to Indore for Ujjain, so I will be in Ujjain the week after. And the week after, I have the sannyas school. I have a lot of engagements, but I must see for the time and calculate the time and let you know if it's possible. But if it's not on a Wednesday, we choose another day. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. So,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you.
Jai Prabhupada. Hare Bol.
Thank you.